Hello everybody, Michael Gamer here. So today I'll be doing another tier list for Team Fortress 2. This time it's pretty much I put the class here and which one does the hard counter, which means which one does he take or win most of the time, and which one he actually defeats easily and which one he actually loses pretty hard. So this is for every class. I'm gonna do another video just in this order, and the scout is obviously first just because he's my main, and also he's also the first one in the offensive category. Or as you can see here, he was right there. So the scout here he's definitely very squishy. So first one is soldier. Soldier, I would say he softly counters. Just because soldier does have a shotgun, but most soldiers don't even own a shotgun. They have a rocket launcher. And there is a way to counter a scout as a soldier with the direct hit. It does kill him in one shot, so he would be right here. He would lose more times than actually win. Scout is arguably the best, if not the best, in 1v1 matchups, so it makes sense for him to be right here. But sometimes it really depends. He can be either slightly loses or softly counters, depending on the set of the soldier. Then we have Pyro. Pyro, I would say even for multiple reasons. Scout counters Pyro, but also Pyro can counter Scout if he has the flare gun or a shotgun. And also the Scout does have to get close to the Pyro, unless if he wants to do like barely any damage. The pistol doesn't do enough damage to kill the Pyro quickly. But if he gets too close, the Pyro can kill him, so these two classes are kind of evenly balanced when it comes to fighting each other. And the wins, it really depends on what map it is, and if the scout is up close to him, or if the pyro is too far to reach the scout. The scout can use his advantage in speed, while a pyro has an advantage in close range combat, which is why he's here. Now, the Demoman. Sadly, the Demoman gets hard countered by Scout. He actually gets countered by Scout the hardest out of everyone because he has all his weapons are projectiles, and Scout usually jumps twice in the air. He always jumps mid-air, which makes it hard for the Demoman to actually aim. And Demoman can't use his stickies to actually kill a Scout, but a smart Scout would always avoid stickies and always go up close to the Demoman. No matter what, the weakness of a Demoman is being close to him. And Demonite is really risky because by the time he takes out his sword or axe or whatever he has for a melee weapon, he's going to be dead already by a scout. So that's why he's here. He gets hard countered. Projectile weapons are pretty inefficient against the scout, unless if you're better than the scout himself or vice versa. So for the heavy, I would say, it's kind of hard to say here, but it really depends on which heavy you're fighting. If all of them, let's say if all of them are the same skill ceiling here, or skill level, I would actually say it's slightly loses. I just know it based on experience. Heavy, you have to go around him, you have to jump over him, uses your double jump as much as you can. But if the heavy has perfect tracking, or if he can track you almost every time, he will win most of the time. So it is fair to put him here. He's the exact opposite of the scout, but both of them are pretty damaged. Like, they do a lot of damage. So heavy will outlast the scout, and if scouts can dodge him fast enough, maybe by surprise he could kill the heavy, but the heavy does win most of the time. Now the engineer, he loses almost every time. I mean, if the engineer doesn't have his buildings, he would probably be at around soft counters, because the engineer is a worse scout when he doesn't have his buildings on. But when he has the buildings, even if you're the best scout, doesn't matter what, engineer will pretty much kill you with even a mini sentry. So, because you have to focus on two targets, and scout isn't really the best class for that. He's very squishy, which is why engineer counters the scout pretty easily, without even a question here. Now the medic, actually, I would say that he actually soft counters the medic. The medic does have his regenerative ability and his Uber, but the medic can't really do much. Maybe if he's an experienced medic, he'll be right here, but most of the time he would get hard countered by a scout. I'm just putting him here just to be generous. The medic is just a support class. I know he can also fight, but it really depends on the user. But if they're evenly matched in skills, so the medic will lose most of the time. Now for the sniper. A sniper, I would actually say a sniper gets countered by a scout. It might be surprising for some of you, but I will put a soft counter just because the scout is pretty fast. He's one of the fastest characters, and he is one of the hardest to hit. And if he uses the bonk atomic punch, that weapon, no matter if you're aimbotting or not, unless if you can time it perfectly, he will kill you if he uses the force of nature combination with the bonk, which is one of Sniper's biggest counters in the game, even if he has aimbot, which sounds crazy. But the bonk atomic punch is pretty good and efficient against aimbotters as well, especially when you have two scouts in the same location. You cannot headshot both of them at the same time. So that means that he's not a hard counter, but he's definitely a soft counter, which means he would win most of the time, but not every time. Like he fights the Demoman here. Now the spy, where would I put the spy? Because he's in a pretty weird position against the scout. And I'll actually say a spy loses against the scout most of the time. Just because, and this is technically his father, if you guys know from the comics. The spy is his father. It's kind of ironic how he actually can defeat a spy. The spy should be more experienced, but it doesn't work that way. The spy can kill a scout because of his squishiness, and he can use a dead ringer to fake his death. But the scout is way too fast to backstab, which is usually his main skill and ability to kill characters like the heavy or sniper if he's unprepared. But he's way too inefficient to actually kill a scout. He's way too slow. He might be one of the fastest classes, but against a scout, if they're exactly in the same skill ceiling, usually a scout will come on top if they fight 1 against 1. And that will be the end of the video, guys, for the scout matchup against everyone else. And if you could just agree or disagree, I would like to hear it in the comments below. Maybe you will have some changes here, like the medic being even, or maybe a spy being even. But honestly, I think only the Pyro is the only character that can technically even out with the scout, since they both kind of balance in range and speed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.